Okay, last video was finding the component form of a vector if you were given its angle and magnitude. This one's kind of working backwards. Now, if we know the component form of our vector, how do we get the angle? We already know how to get the magnitude from this. We just used the Pythagorean theorem using our x and our y components. Yeah, but to find the direction, it just takes a little bit of trig. It's something that you guys have already seen, and once I show you how, it'll be like, oh yeah, duh. Okay, so I just drew the vector. 4 in the x direction, -5 in the y direction. Okay, I'll even draw that same triangle that we draw every time with the x and the y components broken down. I've got -4, actually +4, excuse me, for x, and -5 for my y. Okay, what I want to do is find the direction angle of the vector. Now I could either give that angle, I want to know what is this angle, right? Here's 0 degrees, that's our positive x-axis, that's 0. What is theta here? What direction is my vector headed? Now I could also give this theta if I wanted to, right? It depends. For the cases of like your homework and stuff and the quizzes, if you just give this one, you're good, you're fine. You can give the -1 if you want, or the +1. Either one should work. Anyway, or give both, why not? But if it's multiple choice, hopefully you would know if you get this negative theta, this clockwise angle theta, and it's not on one of the multiple choices, then do your add 360 degrees to that and get that other angle, make sure and see if that's on there as well. Okay, so what do we do here? Well, we have a right triangle and we want to know angle theta. We know two sides of that triangle. We don't even need this third side, right? Angle theta, 5 is where from angle theta? It's opposite. 4 is where? 4 is adjacent. Opposite and adjacent. I have the opposite and adjacent sides of theta, which means I have the tangent of theta. I know that the tangent of theta is -5/4. Okay? I know that. I don't want the tangent of theta, though. I want theta. So do you remember what we do? We take the inverse tangent of both sides. Right? Inverse tangent and tangent undo each other. Okay? And you might remember that the range of inverse tangent, the domain of inverse tangent is this side of the unit circle. So we don't need to worry about getting our positives and negatives mixed up since we're on this side of the unit circle. Okay. Inverse tangent of theta, we got that. So inverse tangent of -5/4. We can just go to our calculator for that, right? Theta equals inverse tangent of 5/4. Go to our very good friend, the TI-83. Inverse tangent. I'll show my buttons that I'm pushing to if I can. Yep. Inverse tangent. There's inverse tangent of -5/4. And we get a value of -0.89. Now, do you think that's in radians or degrees? Well, it depends on what mode my calculator is in, of course. Excuse me. Mode. Oh, I'm in radians. Now, it depends on what answer I need. Usually when you're dealing with vectors, you're in degrees. Okay, you usually don't use radians when you're dealing with vectors. So answers will probably, you can just leave them in degrees. And the multiple choice, when you get to the multiple choice in the quiz, the given answers will be in degrees as well. So let's go back. I'm just going to hit enter again. There's my answer in degrees, -51.3 degrees. And that makes sense that that's a negative answer because remember, that's the range of tangent, which will give you that only that negative answer. If I wanted to get the positive answer, right, this theta right here, I would just add 360 to that, plus 360. So I could either do -51.34 degrees or 308.66 degrees. Either one of those is correct. I'll just go with that first one. Theta equals -51.34 degrees. We'll round that to the nearest hundredth of a degree. Okay, and that's it. We found the direction angle of our vector. And guys, really, it's just basic right triangle trig. So I hope this stuff is pretty straightforward for you. Okay.